Take your marks.
Listen to the crowd. This is a remarkable performance.
A world record, Medley. Have you really ever seen anything like it?
He can't believe it, but it just happened.
Hello and welcome to About Last Night, Budapest edition for day 2 of the World Aquatic Swimming Championships here in beautiful Duna Arena. My name's John Mason. Joining me once again is Elizabeth Beisel, and I'm super excited to have this man here with us because we're going to get an insight into a coach's perspective, the incredible James Gibson. James, welcome to the show. Welcome back, shall I say.
Thanks, John. Bit of a different environment to Paris, but nice to be back with you.
Let's dive right into day 2. It was a massive night again. Why don't we start with Noe Ponti?
I mean, we kept a streak of a world record, so now we've seen a world record in every night of the session so far. Noe Ponti, I mean, double crown, world record. The story couldn't be better. And his reaction, James, was so pure and exciting.
Yeah, I think every time Noe breaks that world record, it looks like it's the first time, and I think it's about the 5th time he's done it in the last few weeks. But what I loved about Noe's performances is he went through the rounds. Like, he actually progressed as he went through. Noe, awesome, to go from 21.5, 21.4, 21.3, and then on the lane line, pumping the chest.
Yes, and that flag as well, he was running around with the flag. I was so excited for him because I think with Noe, right, it was getting that world record. He's always been in the mix, you know, he's had silvers, he's had bronzes, but he's never got a world title, and he did that tonight. He had his mum in the audience, he had his uncle in the audience, and it was just such a magical moment for him.
Yeah, he was truly speechless. In the interview that he did with you, you were kind of asking him about what was going through his mind, you know, world record, world champion, all the things, double crown, and he was... You could just tell. I think he truly shocked himself, and that's like one of the best feelings in the world.
Honestly, that's great observation, but it's a lot to process for an athlete. And I think that we have a lot of high expectation that they're machines, they're just going to go and do it. But I want to say about the other 2 guys in the race on the podium, you know, they were only 2.5, 3 tenths behind. So he still had to go out. And ironically, they were both under the old world record from a few weeks ago. So he still had to go out and perform. It's not a giver. And then you saw that release. You saw that kind of the pressure was off. He's a world champion. And then he comes up for the interview and he's struggling to find the words. But that's the pure reaction, what we're after.
But I love that. It's a beautiful moment. It's sharing something. And, you know, I stood there with him. I was getting chills because I could just see the joy and excitement on his face. And he was so just elated about it all. He made 25 grand from a world record. He won every stop of the World Cups. He made another 10 grand tonight for that double crown, the first one we've seen at this meet. It was an amazing night for Noe. And speaking of Noe, we managed to catch up with him after his race, after that magical moment. So let's hear what he had to say.
It's amazing. It's amazing. The other guys were super fast, and credit to them as well. But I think also they helped me to push myself to the limits, because even the small mistakes can make me lose the race. So you can now really relax and say, okay, I got it. No, I was pretty nervous before the race, but I'm happy that I was able to prove myself and to win this race. And yeah, amazing, man. The past summer, it went well, but not good enough. I lost, and now I was able to get my redemption and win it, the 50 fly at least, but still a world title, world record. So I'm the fastest man ever in the 50 fly. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it, and yeah, I'm pretty relaxed now for the next races to come. I did it. 100 IM is gonna be nice. 100 fly is gonna be a great battle. And also CROWNS, I think it's going to be very strong. So it's nice, but I'm happy that I was able to at least win one race. So yeah, I think I showed the world that to break the 21 barrier is possible. Maybe I'm not going to be the one that does it first or so. Maybe Costani, CROWNS, or another guy. But I think to break 21 is possible. Not this year for sure, but over the next couple of years, we're gonna get closer, me and the other guys, and that's amazing.
And then followed by another double crown out of Regan Smith. Absolutely incredible 100 backstroke. I mean, she's on fire, especially coming off of Paris, and she has so many silver medals from Paris. And I think one of the things that I really appreciate about her is she isn't a sad silver medalist. She is so proud of what she did in Paris, and then she's just built upon it throughout this entire fall. And to see her break the world record, come back here, win the double crown, I mean, Are you even surprised at this? This is old hat for her.
No, exactly. But that's the great thing about the World Aquatics World Cup Tour. You know, it gives athletes an opportunity to rebound. So in Paris, she got silver medals, and like you said, she was super elate for that. But it gave her an opportunity to carry on her high-level performances. And then, like tonight, I watched her race. From a technical point of view, she attacked it quite differently to her World Cup world record. So she was out a little bit slower, but she actually brought it back. And I know she just missed the world record tonight. And we're kind of like we keep talking about it as if it's like every race it's going to happen. The Duna Arena does have magic water. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah, and throughout this entire year, she's gone through a lot of changes. You know, her coach relocated to Texas, and she was in Arizona. And I think it finally gave her a moment to be like, I am so appreciative of what I can do and what I can control. And I think when you kind of release that, that allows you to have a faster swim, you're more relaxed, and for her, you're right. She is probably the happiest that she's ever been as a swimmer. And I mean, you know this, you've competed in the Olympics. Like, being happy when you're competing is so much more valuable than having a lot of training under your belt.
And I think it's important to point out as well, you know, for everything Regan has done, right, all the incredible achievements she's had and all of the medals she's had, she's never had a short course medal. That was her first one.
Really?
Yes, that was her first one. Yeah, which blew my mind
even
when I
more
read
special
it.
then.
Of course.
Oh,
in a
that's
championship
amazing.
record time as well, you know, was pretty amazing. Moving on to the next event, of course, Lani Pallister doing that 800, managing to defend her title, which was pretty amazing. She won it on home soil in 2022 back in Melbourne. She did it here. Her mum's now her coach. She did it in front of her mum. It was a family affair.
You know, she's obviously been through some big changes, and then to come here and win the gold medal, great for an athlete that's going through transition. And also at the Olympics, I know she was unwell, so I think she had to be excluded at the last minute, and that's very tough for an athlete to take. And then to go through that, to then get back in the water, get back training, get your motivation, everything in line, like you know as well how that feels to come back from a big disappointment, to build yourself up for a championship. So kudos to her, and to do it with a new coach. And I like the way you said it's a family affair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, you know, she was telling you, John, that she hadn't really trained as much as she normally would over the course of this entire fall. And so for her on night one to go PB by a second and a half in the 400, which I was so proud of her, because when I spoke to her, she said that she was so proud of herself. And I feel like athletes are often like, we try to be so humble and we don't want to brag. And she was like, no, I was so proud of that race. And then for her to follow it up, defending a world championship title, which is never easy, and doing it in just like exclamation point form. Like, no one was even close to her. I mean, she has to be on top of the world right now, this field.
No, absolutely. And if you look at her race and how she approached the race, and she, like you said, she was out, she was in control. And what a great feeling for an athlete, especially in the distance events. You know, when you feel like you're pulling away from the athletes around you, it gives you like an extra burst of energy. So she definitely had that tonight.
Yeah, and you know, I think what we're forgetting about Lani is she's a racer. We talk about this with some of those athletes. She might not have trained, but she's so competitive and she races. And she was saying to me, I'm not taking, you know, putting too much pressure on this event, but I think the minute she got on those blocks, she wanted it.
She's the type of competitor that does not care who she's next to. Is it Summer McIntosh? Is it Ariarne Titmus? Is it Katie Ledecky? She will not make it easy. And that's one thing that I so appreciate about Lani, is like, she's this warm, amazing, beautiful human being, but she's also like, once the goggles and caps are on and you're behind the blocks, forget about it. Like, it is on.
It's
So,
go time.
yes,
It's go
it is.
time.
And Nick Hope was able to catch up with Lani in the mix zone. Let's hear what she had to say.
I don't know what I split yet. I hurt a lot at about the 500 meter mark, but the same kind of thing happened last night, so I think it's a bit of a pattern for me, but I feel incredible on this taper. I have a lot to thank my mum for, Noe Pallister. So yeah, it's been really fun racing a couple more 200s to end the back of the meet, but no, I'm really happy to end 2024 the way that it's currently going. Off the back of the 400 yesterday, I was kind of like, maybe I have a crack at winning the 8. I think I struggle with confidence a little bit. I mean, growing up racing Ariarne, it's easy to fall into that trap considering she's so incredible, and racing in the era of distance swimming that's going on in the world at the moment, it's easy to kind of fall into the am I good enough sort of mindset. But yeah, coming off the back of the 400, having a best time, I wanted to see how close I could go to 8 minutes, and I fell apart a little bit, but a career best I'm more than happy.
It's not been an easy week with news that came from back at home as well, with Dawn Fraser, who obviously you're so close to. How much of that was for her as well, the fight that you're showing?
Yeah, I've spoken to her a little bit, so she's actually doing really well, which, thank gosh, I don't know what I'd do without her in my life. She's such a bubbly character, and she will text me just to ask how I'm going or how training's going, and I think having someone as influential and as supportive as she is in my corner is amazing. And I was looking back at memories from Melbourne, and being able to stand on the podium with her is a lifetime memory that I'll just cherish forever. I don't think anyone really gets opportunities like that, so to kind of just take it and run with it when she was presenting my medal means the absolute world to me and more.
It's been go time for this lady the whole time we've been here. Gretchen Walsh, we need to talk about her. Again, it was her first World Championship title. She's had a world record in the heats, a world record in the semis, and she was looking amazing out there. James, you know, you've got insight, which I'm interested in, into sprint, high-level elite sprint coaching. What is she doing differently or better, I suppose, than anyone else that is a first woman, you know, to break 24?
Well, that was outstanding. You know, that world record has stood for such a long time. I think even Ranomi Kromowidjojo's had a go, Sarah Shosham's had a go. And they've all come so close, but to take half a second off of it over a 2-day period is just, it's amazing. But what's she doing differently? She is a fish. Underwater kick on Gretchen. I have never seen anything like it. She can kick, she moves her body differently to the others. It's almost like this whole body movement through the flip and the whip in her kick that's just propelling her a lot faster. And also she can swim on the surface, which helps, of course, as well. But the underwater kick is the critical part of a short course swimming. And to see her at that level, there's a lot more learning that needs to go on from the coaches.
If she goes 49, I'm going to lose my mind.
That is
mind-blowing.
Absurd. It is, and you know what, one thing about Gretchen and her coach and where she is in Virginia, I find I'm so appreciative of this. They have spent probably over 50% of their training days this fall in short course meters. So they aren't showing up here just hoping for the best and wishing and like checking all of their times into the wall in warm up here the 2 days before. They have been dedicated to this craft all fall. And I think it's really showing up and paying off. And so it's just, they're taking it serious. Like, if you want to be the best in the world, you have to be willing to make changes in practice.
So one other thing about that women's 50 fly final was Gretchen was long into her wall. I know we just spoke about training all year in the short course meters pool to take the event seriously, but she was long. What that means is she slows down going into wall, which means the race can be faster. That's the scary thing.
And speaking of Gretchen, she's been putting in amazing performances. We got to catch up with her after her winning swim tonight. So let's take a look at what she had to say.
I'm really thrilled. Honestly, I have a tendency to skip out on the final, so I'm glad that I just got my hand on the wall first, and the time was also still amazing. So I'm glad that I was able to do what I did in that event here. It's always hard, just like getting over the nerves, the pressure, coping with it all. I cannot say that I've mastered it, but just still working it day in and day out to just, you know, be proud of myself, be confident in myself and my abilities, because every time I get on the block, I should be knowing that like I can do what I am dreaming of doing. So just trying to channel that kind of energy. I'm definitely excited to get that medal and make it all feel real. To be a world champion individually, good job, is just a dream come true for me. I mean, I love short course meters, and I feel like I've really found my touch here in this pool and at this meet, so I'm really just looking forward to just celebrating it tonight.
Speaking of the 100 back, it wasn't just Regan, of course. We had the men's 100 back tonight, and our winner there was from our neutral athletes, Miron Lefintsev, world junior record. It was a great performance from him, just edging Hubert Koch there.
Yep, it's tough to beat somebody in the home crowd, but he rose to the occasion, and it was a great swim.
He did, and of course, taking that 4x50 mixed medley relay was the neutral athletes. They had a European record there, and it was a great way to close out the night. Of course, day 2 was an amazing night of action. We're going to continue it on tomorrow with day 3. Baza, what have we got coming up?
All right, on night 3 finals, we have the women's 100 freestyle, the men's 100 freestyle, women's 200 fly, men's 200 fly, the women's 100 breaststroke, the men's 100 breaststroke, the men's 400 freestyle, and the women's 4x200 freestyle relay. So a lot of finals. We're going to be crowning a lot more world champions. This meet just keeps getting better and better. It's so much fun.
So much fun.
I know, I'm having the best time.
And I also loved having you here tonight. That was very insightful. Thank you, James Gibson, for being our guest. And thank you for watching. Of course, you can give us a follow, a like, a subscribe, and of course, at Aquatics across all social media. It's been a pleasure having you. And we'll see you here for day 3.